Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a new product coming out soon from the Buy Stuff store. And this is one I think a lot of you have been anticipating for quite some time. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. Alright everyone, so thank you so much for tuning in and checking out today's video. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So first off, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the Buy Stuff store. They sent me an email late yesterday afternoon asking if I wanted to take a quick look, a quick preview of this new product that they have coming out very soon. And by the time you watch this video, it's quite possible that this has now been launched on their website. If not, it's going to be happening very soon with pre-orders set to start next Wednesday on the 30th. Now, what's the product I'm talking about? Well, let's check it out. So that's right, boys and girls, the triple 360 wheel deck from the Buy Stuff store is almost ready to go. Pre-orders are going to start July 30th at noon. That is just under a week from the time of me recording this. Now, as of right now, there are two versions of this that they're going to have available. One that can fit on a pedestal, and one that can go into your AtGames Legends Ultimate as a replacement control deck. Now, you're going to need to have an ALU version 1.1 or above in order to use this, but it is going to be available for those AtGames Legends Ultimate if you want to replace the control panel, as well as a bunch of other options. Now, one of the really great things about this is there are a ton of options for you to customize this how you want, based on what you want your project to be, how much you're willing to spend, so on and so forth. Now, the bad news is there's a ton of options on this, so it can get a little confusing and a little daunting. So I wanted to go through, I wanted to show off all the options for you guys, show you what the things are going to look like based on the different options, maybe help you guys navigate this a little bit, help you guys decide what, if any of these, you might be interested in purchasing. So let's dive in. Let's go through each of these one at a time. We're going to start with the version for a pedestal. So at its most basic, just the wheel deck and the base with the pedals on it is going to set you back $899. Now, this is true whether or not you're purchasing the pedestal version, which I'll go through first, or the ALU version, which I'm going through next. So keep that in mind just right up front. Before you add anything else to this, this is going to run you right around $900. But let's go through all the different options. Like I said, if you already own a pedestal or you already own an ALU and you just want the control deck with the pedals, you don't want anything else to go with it, that is certainly an option, $900, and you're good to go. But let's see what else they have on offer. Now, as I said, you do not need to get anything other than this if you already own their fixed version pedestal. So if you've already got one of the pedestals from the Buy Stuff store, maybe you're using it for your AtGames Gamer Pro like I am, or for some other project, you could just buy this, put it on there, and you're good to go. However, they do have a new version of their pedestal that is designed specifically to work with this control deck, which has got some really neat features, and I want to go through that as well. So starting out, you can see here, you can get it just alone, nothing else. You can get it with the standard pedestal. So if you don't own a pedestal already, you can get this. This is what it looks like with the standard. And this is what it looks like with their new super pedestal. Now, their super pedestal is cool because it is a dual layer deck in here. It has this little flap on it that you can open to get access to the inside. There's a little shelf in there. So if you want to get the game box or the PC that can go with this, I'll get into that a little bit more as we go on. You can put it inside the pedestal and still get access to it through this little door on the back of the pedestal itself. So really cool option for this if you decide to go that route. Now, they've got a couple of options here in terms of finish on it. You can go with just the standard black like this, or you can do the chrome. That's true for the standard pedestal or the super pedestal. So whichever look you like better, you could go with. Now, in terms of the control deck itself, and again, this is going to be true whether or not you're buying the version for the pedestal or the version for the ALU, you can get the control deck itself in two different options in terms of the look, the color scheme, and things like that. You can get the super sprint option, which you see here with the blue, red, and yellow wheels, blue, red, and yellow buttons, or you can get a version that looks more like super off-road, where it goes red, yellow, blue on it, same color buttons to match, red, yellow, blue, and of course some of the artwork on the control panel is going to change. At the time of recording this, they don't have any like better, closer looks at the top of the control panel. Maybe that's something they can add to this so you can get kind of a better idea of what the artwork and the color scheme is going to look like on them. But if you're familiar with either Super Sprint or Super Off-Road, and I'm going to assume that if you're interested in this, you kind of are, and you know which one you want, then you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to be getting. You can also tell here the badging on the steering wheel itself. You've got Atari for the Super Sprint. For the Super Off-Road, it looks like, it's tough to see. I guess it just says Super Off-Road. It's kind of tough to see from this. I'm sure you can't tell it at all from the video. But again, if you're familiar with the original arcade game, you probably have a pretty good idea of what that's going to look like. So, of course, you could just keep things simple and leave the pedestal black, whichever one you decide to get, if you're going to get it. Or you could go full on and add graphics to this. Now, the graphics are going to change depending on which arcade design you've picked. So if you're going with Super Sprint, your graphics are going to be based on Super Sprint. You can see the side panel graphics here. If you go Super Off-Road, then your options are going to be based on Super Off-Road. I'll go through each of them just to give you an idea of what each one looks. But your side art's going to be about $60 for this. Here's the look for the Super Sprint. If you want to add to the front, you've got a few different options here as well. You've got Super Sprint artwork with a very simple coin door sticker on it, just to kind of give it an overall Super Sprint look. You could go non-arcade accurate and go with this Super Sprint car design, which I think actually still looks pretty cool. Both of those options are $40, or for $140, you can get that Super Sprint artwork with a molded coin door on it. Now, if you want to go even a step further, if you're planning on picking up the Super Pedestal that has that kind of interior that you can get at with the little door option on it, there's a fourth option, which is $400, but it's going to add a real working coin door to this. That's right, this is a real working coin door. You can have coin in options on it. It's got all the mechanisms for it. It's going to come with a tray underneath to catch the coins, and wiring so you can actually set this up with your gaming box or your mini PC, whatever you get, so that it actually, like I said, works with coin in to play your games. Now, it's an expensive option, but for those of you who really want to go all out on something like this, you could certainly do that. So going back to Super Off-Road, same pricing for all of your artwork on this, but as you can see, it's got the Super Off-Road look on the side here. On the front, you've got just a very simple coin door sticker with no extra graphics to it. You've got your truck graphics like this. Again, maybe not necessarily arcade accurate, but this is a pedestal, and I still think that looks super cool. You could go with the faux coin door. Again, no other graphics, just a plastic molded coin door, or, again, the real coin door on this. So I gotta say, I mean, I kind of like the Super Sprint a little bit better with the extra graphics that they put on it. But if you're a big fan of Super Off-Road and that's the way you want to go, then you've got your two options. Now, of course, you could go ahead and just use this with your own gaming system if you want, or if you want to purchase one from the BISA store to go with this, they do offer 2 options, an Android-based gaming box and a mini PC. Now, I want to read what it says here on their website about this because I think this is something very important that people need to understand. It says the 360 wheel deck presents as 3 separate spinners and controllers to the gaming system. Programming games to work properly takes a significant level of experience. We have both the gaming box and mini PC option for pre-configured systems. The mini PC runs about twice as many games as the gaming box can. Mounting and cables are provided with both gaming system options. And they do have a games list here. I'm going to bring that up in just a minute so I can show you guys a little bit of what they have on offer. But like I said, I really wanted to point this out because I do believe that if this is something that you want to do, you want to get maybe going with one of these options from them, the gaming box or in the mini PC, is going to make for a much simpler plug and play experience for you to be able to play all of the games that they have on there and not have to worry about configuring 3 wheels and pedals and all that kind of stuff on your own system. Now, depending on which one you want to get, you do have some options for things that you can add to it. Like with the gaming box, you can get an HDMI cable to go with it, 9 feet or 15 feet. If you go with the mini PC, same thing. You can get the HDMI cables to hook up to your TV or monitor. You can also get a power extension cable to go with it. So a couple of options to choose from if you want to go with either the gaming box or the mini PC. Now, having a quick look at the games list that comes with this, you can see they've got this broken down into different categories, whether it's single-player games, 2-player games, 3- and 4-player games. They've got some notes here for different things. You can go through all of this if you want, advanced options, things like that. But again, there are about twice as many games that work on the PC as compared to the game box. The ones in yellow are PC only. Still work in process. Some game box changes will yet occur. So they are still kind of working on things. There might even be more games for the game box that than are on this list by the time this is ready to come out. Please note the gaming box is limited to mostly older MAME games. The PC has much more compatibility. Again, something to keep in mind. But you can see here, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120 different single-player games on this. About 25 different games for 2 players. Right around the same for 3 and 4 players as well. You can see they've even got it broken down how many are 3 and 4 players. Now, obviously, this is a 3-wheel deck, so even the 4-player games, the only way you would be able to play these as 4 players is if you eventually go out and buy one of their single 360 wheel decks as well and just kind of mount that next to the control deck to play it that way. That is going to be an option in the future from them, so something to keep in mind. But of course, even the 4-player games, you could certainly play with 3 players. So now, having gone through all of the options for the Pedestal, let's take a look at the options if you want to get this to put in your ALU. Now, remember, you need an AtGames Legends Arcade 1.1 version or later in order to use this. And just like with the Pedestal, you could just go ahead, get the control deck with the pedals like you see here, put it on your ALU, and be done, be good to go. So, of course, one of the biggest options here is to get a complete replacement top for your ALU. Now, this is going to give it more of a shape, more of a feel like a real arcade machine than the stock ALU. It even comes with a brand new 26-inch 4x3 monitor and chrome T molding on it to, again, keep it in line with the bottom of the ALU on it. Now, this is going to be obviously a pretty hefty option for this. You can see how much the price jumps up. I'll go through all pricing and stuff at the end, give you kind of highs and lows on this. But it is certainly an option and a way to go if you want to completely transform the look of your ALU. Now, going back to the stock ALU for a second, again, just like with the Pedestal, you've got different options. You could go with the Super Sprint look or the Super Off-Road look. You can kind of get a little better idea, I think, here than on the Pedestal on the coloring and the graphics on it. Again, hopefully, Buy Stuff will add some more pictures to this to give you a better idea of what the graphics on the control panel are going to look like, depending on which one you go with. And again, just like with the pedestal, you've got different graphic options. You could go the super sprint route here. You can see the side art on it as well. Same thing, coin door sticker, the car graphics, the faux coin door, and even the real coin door, just like with the pedestal. I already went through those on that, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that as well. Of course, if you decide to go super off-road, you can see how everything would look with that as well, the different pricing options, so on and so forth. Now, they offer a few different options in replacement marquees as well, including a very simple backlit plexi with the super sprint or super off-road look to it, or you could even go with a 24-inch LCD marquee that is designed to change based on the game you're playing. And if you want to complete the look altogether, you could get a replacement bezel as well that just goes right over the bezel on the original ALU. Again, whether it's super sprint or super off-road. And I think the super off-road is just a very simple black one. I don't think it has a lot of graphics to it like the super sprint one does. But again, if you want to hide the original bezel on your ALU, this is the way to go with that. Just like with the pedestal, you've also got the options to add a gaming box or mini PC to this as well. I already went through, that in the games list, talking about the pedestal, so I'm not going to do that again. And then, of course, if you want to make your ALU a little bit taller, there's some riser options as well, a 3-inch riser and a 5-inch riser. And they've even made it really simple if you want to add their standard pedestal to go with your order as well. So you can take your original ALU control deck and put it in here and still have access to playing games on your ALU with the original control panel while you've got the 360 wheel one added to this. So before I finish this up, I wanted to give you guys a look at the graphics, how they would look if you want to get the replacement top for this as well. Now keep in mind, if you go with the replacement top, there is no need for a different bezel on this because it's a full replacement top. It's going to already have just a standard simple bezel on this. That 26-inch monitor takes up a lot of the space anyway on this, but just to give you guys a look at the full-on graphics option for Super Sprint with the replacement top. And then the same thing with Super Off-Road. So whichever game you are more interested in, whichever one you like better, Super Sprint, Super Off-Road, again, you've got the options here. Graphic-wise, you're going to be in the same price range, so it really doesn't make a difference which one you pick. It really comes down to your preference as to which game you want to represent. Now, of course, one thing I didn't really do as I was going through this was show you all the different pricing, how everything changes as you go through. You can certainly see that for yourself as you're pricing this out. The price here will just continue to change as you add your different options. But at the lowest end of things, just getting the deck itself is going to be $900. And for the pedestal, if you wanted to go full on with this, all the bells and whistles, the super pedestal, the graphics, the real coin door, the gaming PC, all the different cables and stuff to go with it. On the high end on this, you're looking at just under $2,000, $1,890. Now, it's a lot, but you get a lot. So keep that in mind. And of course, you can pare this down as you want. I just wanted to show you the low end and the high end on this so you have an idea of price range. And then the same thing with the ALU. Again, just the control panel with the pedals on its own, right around $900. And then full on all the bells and whistles on this. Now this is with the stock ALU top on it and not including the extra pedestal. You're looking at just under $2,200. And if you go with the replacement top, again, without the add-on of an additional pedestal, just this with all the graphics, all the bells and whistles, the mini PC, everything, you're looking at just under $2,500, $2,465. So again, this can get very pricey if you want to go full on and completely transform your ALU. But because they're offering so many different options, so many configurations here, you've got a range that you can choose from. On the low end, $900 just for the control panel itself, all the way up to, on the high end, right around $2,500. So it's up to you. And there you go. That is my look at the new triple 360 wheel deck coming soon from the Buy Stuff store. Again, pre-orders go live on July 30th. Shipping to be determined based on how many orders they get, how long it takes for them to put everything together in regards to this new product. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, Buy Stuff Store did reach out to me to give me a quick sneak preview of this before it went live on the website, which is what I've used to put this video together for you. I did also reach back out to them to ask them a couple of questions about this. Now, as you see, right now, for the 3-wheel setup, the only versions that they are going to have are the version to go on a pedestal and the version to replace in your ALU. There are no plans at this point for a 3-wheel version of a deck to go in, say, one of your arcade 1-ups. As they put it, it's just too small for a full wheel setup like that. However, they do have plans to bring out a dual 360 wheel deck and a single 360 wheel deck. The dual 360 wheel deck will be an option for modding an arcade 1-up. So that is something to look forward to. Again, hopefully coming sometime in the near future. As for when, again, it is going to depend on how long it takes for them to fulfill the orders for the triple wheel deck. They really want to focus on that first, get those out to people, and then they will come back to the dual wheel and the single wheel, both of which may wind up coming out at pretty much the same time. They haven't fully decided yet, so to be determined. Keep an eye on this channel and keep an eye on the Buy Stuff store for more information coming soon. But there you go. I hope this video helped you out. I hope it really did help you to navigate the website, navigate all the different options, whether you're getting this to go on a pedestal or whether you're getting it to replace your ALU. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the new triple 360 wheel deck coming from the Buy Stuff store. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys again so much for checking it out. Thank you so much for sticking all the way through it to the end. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, please go ahead, leave me a like, leave me a thumbs up, leave me those comments below. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do that as well. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you could consider getting a membership. But that's all for now. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care and happy gaming.